Hey guys, it's today, Friday the 5th. It's about 10:30 when I'm recording this. We just finished up our Municipal Art Commission meeting, and I wanted to give you guys an update on how that went. So, I'll go ahead and post some videos and some links here below so you can learn a little bit more about what the commission is. But I don't want to have to keep repeating at every one of these videos. So I hope you've already heard what encroachments are. But encroachment applications is a responsibility that we have with the commission, and basically it's, any time that you have like a sign on your building and it encroaches or kind of goes over like the sidewalk, so you're basically going over or you're into like the city property, so you have to get that type of stuff approved, those signages and things approved. So we went through 4 of those today. I'll talk a little bit about those in just a little bit. And then we talked about the KCI airport, and we talked a little bit about funding for the 1% art project. Our next meeting will be July 3rd, and you don't have to always get your news or information about the Municipal Arts Commission from me. Please sign up for the newsletters. I'll share that link as well. And they're open to the public. So everything I'm sharing with you is stuff that was in the meeting, and there was community members in there as well, and I'm glad to see a local artist that I invited to join the meeting, and she went, so that was cool. So if you see this, hey. Anyway, alright, so KCI, I'll go ahead and talk about that first. So we are still, or the KCI Executive Committee is still waiting, art committee, so they're the ones who kind of look at all the art and everything. I won't get too much into that because it's still like a long process and everything, so they probably have like a more official title. But anyway, what they do is just, it's a mixture of committee members and community members who are going to help lead the efforts in, seeing what art looks like, that first step over like at the airport. So again, I'm still learning all this, and I'm probably going to find like better words and be more clear when I talk about all this. But anyways, so they're waiting to get all this information to really come together, from the survey to information from the airport. And then after that, the plan is still on schedule for summer, fall, to have the artist calls go out. The art calls go out for the airport. So still pay attention. Sign up for the notifications, again, through the newsletters, through the buildkci.com website, to stay up to date when all of those comes out. But I was really excited to hear that the executive committee decided on a couple of specific asks during this art call process. One is to, again, gather the information from the survey, airport, to really make the best, art call available in that fall and summer. So, waiting for that to make the call, or to publish the call, and then create a how-to guide for artists on how to be a part of the art call. So, and I apologize if I'm saying so too much. I'm going to keep working on that. But anyway, and I'll probably need to watch what I say when I say anyway too a lot. But this how-to guide is a way to really help artists create the online account where the city posts the calls, how to apply, what happens if you were to get the, the award or were to be selected for the art projects. So from beginning to end, what does it look like to apply for an art call with the city? So cool. I think that's so exciting, and I think that's a way to really open it up to so many more Kansas City artists to apply and get themselves out there. It's just exciting. That stuff makes me happy. So, but it's a clear cut. And then clear cut guide. 2, the executive committee also mentioned the importance of creating a transparent plan on diversity and inclusion during this art process. And they were very clear about it, and I was so excited because, again, I'm just doing my small part in, in doing this in Spanish and English, but that's not it. There's like way more people, and way more like, creative people, shy people, quiet people, creative people, people who maybe have never seen this type of stuff, and I don't know. I think it's just exciting, and it was awesome to see that specifically mentioned as a priority, and I'm excited to see what that'll look like. They talked about the art calls and possibly having them staggered, so depending on the construction projects or how like those timelines go, there could be 2 art calls out there, and then there's 2 other ones being, run at the same time too. So that'll be interesting, but that'll be pretty fun. They also mentioned, with the 1% art project, where does money come from? And I think it's important that we always pay attention to where money comes from. And so I'm not an expert, and I'm still going to learn, but I think as long as we keep like the names out there and we familiarize ourselves with the programs, the people, the money, etc., then that's where we keep learning. So GO bonds, general obligation bonds, and then special obligation bonds were 2 bonds that they said, hey, the guy who does all the investigating with the, where the budget for the artist for the 1% art project come from. He was like, hey, just make sure that you also look into the special obligation bonds, because you can also get some money allocated from there. Like, oh, okay. So I'm not the expert, but 1% art project, it's getting some money from the GO bonds and from the special obligation bonds. And then again, still go ahead and look to see what all the criteria is. So just because it's there's still some parameters around that. But at least that was mentioned, and we know that that's something that would be attached to the 1% art project. Our next meeting will be July 3rd. July 3rd. And again, you can sign up for all of those notifications through the city. So that's what happened. And now I mentioned to you what's going to be the encroachment application. So we had 4. 3 of them were pretty standard. So again, you put a sign up on your building. Before you can actually put it up, you have to still go through all the other processes, whether there's still like permits. It's not just one department who approves it, but the Municipal Art Commission is one of the commissions that has to approve it before it's, put up. So here's your sidewalk, here's your building, and then you put your sign, and then it kind of like encroaches or goes over. That's what it's referring to. So 3 were pretty standard. 1 was of concern to a couple of commissioners and myself, because the work had already been done. The encroachment had already happened. The structures and the things have already been constructed and they are already encroaching. So my question was, why are we approving an application for work that has already been done? I mean, the other 3 applicants came to us, and all of the other applicants that we've had this year have come to us prior to the construction being happened. The explanation that we received is that sometimes that's what happens with construction, is that you plan for a certain area, and then there was something that didn't go within that plan, so it happens afterwards, like stairs. So it wasn't anything huge. It was like a retaining wall and maybe some stairs, and it just went over by a couple of inches. But today was the first time that I voted no on an encroachment, and it was not because the encroachments were terrible, or no. I understand that those things happen, but I was just concerned that what language do we have, what written language do we have that allows for those types of accommodations to happen post-construction. So it wasn't anything huge, but I do just want to share with you that sometimes it can be really tough to say no when everyone else is saying yes for some very legitimate reasons. But for me, it was just personally like, I don't have the language in front of me. I don't have, and language, I mean like stuff that's written down to like say, yep, you're within your we didn't say it in Spanish, but anyway, like you can work within this language, you can work within these written responsibilities. And so then several commissioners asked that this issue be brought up for further discussion, for further clarification, pre or post construction of an encroachment. We need some clarification on that. So anyway, nothing, I would say nothing huge, but I think we all owe each other to be transparent and honest. And it was, I say on that side, today it was just a little bit tough to like say no and to actually have my name no, but I know why I said no, and it was still passed, and everything's fine, and sidewalks are still there, and their staircases are still there, and the retaining wall is still there. Cool, because I'm glad that that's still there. But anyway, so thank you very much, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.